Twisted Dough meets 110% nutrition. How and why?
One word for you.
Ooh, one word.
He's a glorious man. His name's Alex. So I met Alex 4 years ago now at a random show in Indianapolis when I was working for my previous employer, Cummins, as a manufacturer.
Who is that?
Cummins is a diesel engine company. I was a mechanical engineer before I started 110. I was working for them, or while I was starting 110, I was working for them.
Okay.
Side hustle, main hustle type thing. So I was going to every pretty much show, event, fitness expo, bodybuilding, whatever I could to grow my company. And I met Alex, who I immediately connected with. As you know, Alex is one of the sweetest human beings I've ever met in my life. So he really helped me get my company started when it came from a content perspective. He explained all that to me. So I automatically had nothing but trust, respect, loyalty, love for this man. Now, we've been in touch since then. We haven't worked together, but we've been, every month or so, hey brother, how's it going? Blah, 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 how's the family? So one day I had a random call and he said, hey man, I think you might be able to help one of my friends out. So when he left his previous employer and signed on with you, he called me immediately and was like, dude, she's got a problem. Problem is she's, running out of inventory and protein. She needs her own protein. Like, she needs to mass produce this. I was like, I'm your guy.
Literally a phone call later. Hi.
I was like, protein's my thing. I got this. This is what I do. So right after that, he gave me your phone number. I called you, and about 15 minutes later, we hit it off. Yeah. I knew everything you were about. I knew what you needed, what you wanted, where you were at with your brand, how you wanted to scale, what your pain points were, and how I can fix these pain points, right? So you needed a very, very large volume of protein. Your product is protein powder.
That's true.
That is the base main ingredient of your protein, of your product is protein. So, I'm the head of operations for a manufacturer that does supplements. So what we did is we went back and forth for a while, and basically, long story short, came from Alex. Alex is the one that...
But you are my...
best friend.
Consumer.
Best friend.
The best friend.
All right, let's take a step back to consumer. We'll keep the friend thing aside. So...
that was a big kicker.
Fun fact. I have been a consumer of Twisted Dough since I was in contest prep 4 years ago. So when I did my first bodybuilding show and I was very deep into contest prep, I lived off Twisted Dough. So I got one of your ads one day and I was like, this is way too good to be true. This is bullshit. Am I allowed to cuss on your podcast?
Sure.
Okay, bullshit.
Bullshit.
So I was like, there's no way this is right. So I ordered a sample pack or one of the cheapy, like, I don't really believe this is going to work type things. And I ate all of them in one day. And then the next day, signed up for a subscription. And ever since then, I've been using Twisted Dough whenever I get really tight in dieting, or honestly, pretty much any aspect of where I'm at. Yeah, post-workout is my treat every day. Everyone knows when I get home from the gym, I have a few spoonfuls of Twisted Dough. So yeah. I've been a consumer for 4 years. Since, how long has Twisted Dough really been around?
Twisted Dough has been around since before, 2018 or 2019. We went to a large bodybuilding show in St. Louis. It's a huge one where all the people come from all the different countries. Show? Can't tell you. It happens on Easter weekend every year, and they literally licked our tubs clean, and that's when we're like, we got something. So we kept it going. Yeah. But then, 2020 happened, lost my entire life, whatever, and I just said I'm going to go with Twisted Dough as a company. So Twisted Dough became its own brand at that point, and 3 years later, we're selling so much dough we can't see straight.
Gee, you ain't kidding. It's seeing your operation in person. When I came to visit your actual facility, that was insane.
What'd you think?
Dude, I've never seen, so when I produce this volume of protein, I'm thinking, all right, this girl's taken 40, literally drums of protein, which, for people that don't know, 40 drums of protein, that's a metric shit ton. That's a lot, right? So I'm sitting here, I'm like, what is she doing with it? And when I saw the operation and saw your staff and how they use this protein, it's incredible.
Isn't it wild?
It's
I feel
wild.
the operation's so dingy and like weird and small, but
It's
it's really not.
nowhere
It's
near
how
dingy.
everybody starts.
It's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, it's
a
just
well-oiled
how-
machine.
We're figuring it out day by day. We rotate how we use it. Our whole facility will probably be moved next week.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's crazy. So now that I understand like how like the volume and like how it's being like what the application is, right? So I see the
Right.
full picture. I get it now. So it was
cool.
crazy. It was crazy to be there and see like where my product is going and being used. So it was incredible to see your volume. So long story short, it's amazing to see how far
Thanks,
you came.
Alex.
Yeah, thank you, Alex.
Alex is now our
He's listening to
videographer.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alex is now our videographer, which is cool. So if you're watching stuff at Twisted Dough now, you see it evolve and you're like, who evolved that? Well, that's good old Alex now.
I know everyone sees those gorgeous, what is it, little like beautiful little twisty dough thingies.
Mhm,
What, you know,
the little
that-
stirrups.
That's it. That's
Yep.
it. So Alex nails them.
Yep.
So when you came to me, I knew where you were at with how you were sourcing your protein before this. I'm not going to name drop. I don't want to do any of that. But how you were using and sourcing your protein before this was ridiculous. I mean, it made no sense. It was essentially like you were essentially a supplement store.
Yeah.
Is what you were doing. That makes almost no sense from a business. Like it doesn't even, it blows my mind. So you're at a position now where your volume is far exceeding a consumer. You're not a consumer. You're a wholesale market. Like you are using protein at such a rate that you need your own volume, your own contract almost. So when I saw what you were doing previously, I immediately researched like that company's blend, that company, like what protein was working for you. And then we started to synthesize from there. So what's the ratio of different proteins in there? Because you've got your isolates, your concentrates, your caseins. I mean, it goes on. So what's the perfect blend of different proteins that's going to make that thickness, that texture? And we started, fooling around with different flavor profiles. And what you did that most customers don't do is I called you and I said, hey, this is a project where I need you here.
When I was like, why haven't I been invited?
Exactly.
I'm ready.
And I called you and I said,
anywhere.
hey, I need you here to get this fixed. So you immediately, within 2 days, you booked a flight and flew into Atlanta.
Literally.
Yep, which is where we're sitting right now.
Woo!
So we're here in Atlanta, and Rose flew directly here. And we literally spent all day on a Thursday, Friday, just going flavor to flavor to flavor to flavor to flavor. Add this, take this away. Add a little bit more sweetness, add a little bit less sweetness. Maybe some salt, maybe some butter, maybe some cake. And we just played around all day long. And you literally sat. I watched you sit there. I watched you sit there with rubber gloves in a Tupperware container and just mix this thing up and make dough in front of me. And we just played with bases of protein to get
hilarious.
the perfect taste, texture, consistency.
Yeah.
And it was cool to watch that. So, I mean, really, that's where this all came from is watching you make it in real time and tweaking in real time. So, I have a flavor specialist that's on our team, and James. James is fucking amazing.
James is amazing.
He's amazing. He is literally the best in this industry at flavoring.
So how do you think our accomplishment went with it? You think it's the best, or you think we should be still tweaking?
I'm a win, but we have tweaked this next order.
Oh, yeah.
So you've tried the new recreation. So essentially all we've done was we took the same flavor profile, sweetness, formula, everything.
Yeah.
We've added a little bit more sweetness, and we have taken the xanthan gum and we've divided it by 2. So essentially we're in half right now. Now what that's going to allow you to do is use the protein base as itself to create the thickness. The xanthan gum is it's a thickening agent. So it's making your product so thick that you're limiting the water to the point where it's becoming a batter, which is what I believe this company should be, but
That's a whole
customers may think different. So
people are calling it slime.
Don't say that word. That's going to bother me.
Gummy.
Don't
slime.
you dare.
I'm going to need a drink on that one.
So anyway, yep. Any whoosie, what's it? I think we got to the point right now with this new order that's coming out in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I think we should be good to go.
I'm excited. And we could tweak it every time, right? Like,
there's literally,
don't like something, like they need to do.
This is fully custom. So anything you need,
We do anything. Okay.